Should we ask the big question, Tanis? Was Fresh Start World successful?
Well, I think by any metric, the answer to that is yes. If you look at the number of players, at one point, I think we had probably the majority of all RS3 players were on Fresh Start.
No, it was it was consistently. Fresh Start was about 20% of the RS3 population.
Okay, well, I was looking at that number. You had that 58,000.
Oh, yeah, that was just people ranked. That's just people who tried it on the high scores at one point or another.
Okay.
Yeah, 58,000 people are ranked overall, with 30,000 plus ranked in most skills.
But that's just yet another metric to gauge, because to try this, you had to get that membership somehow, whether that was a traded bond, whatever the case. How can we look at that and say it was anything but a success?
That's $753,000 revenue at $12.99 each. Revenue.
And that's for only a 3-ish month period, right? So if they did...
Oh, yeah, multiply that by 3. Yeah.
I hope they don't ever do more than like one a year, but I can't imagine that after they see those numbers, they're going to go, hey, maybe this is every month, every 3 months kind of thing.
$2.2 million U.S. revenue had U.S. membership prices with this.
Yeah, that's wild.
And that's membership. Now, also take
and that
into
doesn't
account
include people who aren't ranked.
No, and this is like you that could be, that's what you drew. Let's just say you drew that mostly probably in the competitive phase.
Yeah.
Then after the competitive phase, the numbers, I'm telling you, dude, the numbers they brought in from Treasure Hunter are going to dwarf those.
Well, based on what you said, yeah. And,
it wasn't. I mean, and
this was a discussion we had.
And my friends,
right?
Like,
and this was a discussion we had a couple episodes ago or last week. Is something successful because it's a good game update and it's good for the game, or is it successful because it looks good on the balance sheet?
It can be both.
And
because
it has to be both.
I really enjoyed it, and I didn't like some aspects, but overall, I had more fun playing Fresh Start Worlds than I had the entire whole year up to this point, because I just felt like the game was stale and it was something new. And now I've been playing more RuneScape this last month after it's been over than I have been almost the entire year before then. So
yep, I absolutely agree and echo everything Dragon just said. Because that was the same experience to me too, and I do think that both things can be true. I don't think it wouldn't have been as successful if it wasn't fun, right? Like if it wasn't good content, it wouldn't have been successful to begin with. But because it was good, because it did kind of rekindle this, like, I don't know, it made RuneScape fun again, right? Like it had been years and years, maybe close to 10 years since I had experienced some of this early game.
As somebody who did most of the early to mid game on skills the year prior on the skill pier, I will echo that sentiment as well, is that this was different and fresh, even with that. Pardon the, using the term fresh with Fresh Start, but you know what I mean. So.
Yeah, well, because, so much had been done, I think, last year in different updates that we covered about the improvements that was going into early game that we acknowledged we might have tried for a minute so we could talk about it or analyze it, but
you don't know how it's going to go without being that level ban.
Exactly, and that's what really made this different. That and the fact that people that you hadn't played with for a long time were coming back. They were playing too. That was fun. It was just a whole thing put together that I'm not surprised that it made money. It should have made. I mean, this is what we want, right? And think about it this way too. One of the most successful updates Jagex did in a whole year didn't cost them very much in development time or money at all.
Yeah,
that is so true. As far as what they had to adjust was just the basically the buffs they added in and the like achievement score, that can't be the same as, one of these big boss updates, or even the quests I know take a little bit of time to put together. So,
and that's what everybody missed coming in. And I still think there's a portion of the community out there who can't see this because of the echo chambers that exist, because of the sources that they listen to, the people that they hang out with. But when you look at it just from the high score data, it was successful. Combine that with people who played it, you really start to get a picture of what happened. And with that, I think it would be really good if Jagex were to come out and say, hey, this is how Fresh Start did, this is what we liked, this is what we're going to do different next time if we do such a thing, and this is what we learned from it. I think it'd be really good to hear from them on their perspectives on this, but, 2 weeks gone, we haven't yet. It's like it's just gone and forgotten, which, doesn't look good from their perspective. But I feel like we're having the discussion that needs to be had right now by the Jagex communication people on this. So I think that's where it's at.
Honestly, I think two things. One, they're still going through the data.
Yeah, that's true.
Two, I think they're almost afraid of touting their success because of the naysayers that say, look, see, you just care about money. See, it's all treasure hunters. See, it was a greed, it was money grab.
But they've never been good at touting their own success.
But they've also always been very squeamish to any kind of negativity that any Yahoo out there is going to say. And I wish that wasn't the case, because I really think this was successful. Like, this is the most fun I've had playing RuneScape in years. Since Archaeology came out, this has been the highlight since Archaeology for me.
And from the player's perspective, yes, it was a success, and we really need the answer for that on the business angle now. I think that's where the discussion goes next on this.